Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, Dr. Kongoli. This is Reinhard Butikofer speaking from the European Parliament in Strasbourg. I'm very sorry that I cannot be with you in Cancun at this time. Parliamentary responsibilities are keeping me here in Europe. But I'm greeting you and I'm greeting all the participants of the Fray International Symposium. It's a great honor for me that you have decided to award me the Fray Sustainability Award this year. It connects the work that I am trying to do with the great name of Professor Fray, and I really must say I'm overwhelmed by this honor, and I thank all of you who have participated in this decision, and because of that I even more so regret that I cannot be present with you and express my feelings in person. Here at the European Parliament, the issue of raw materials policy has become a focus of our work as parliamentarians, but it's also a very pertinent issue for the work of the European Commission, and the member states of the European Union are coming one after one also with strategies that zero in on this important issue. As some of you may have heard, the Parliament has recently voted a strategy paper, raw materials strategy report, which expresses our basic understanding of these issues. I feel no need to explain vis-à-vis all of you, a very expert group of people in this field, all the pertinent issues, the increasing competition over access to raw materials globally, the additional pressure on the market, the volatilities, and so on. What I want to highlight, though, is that we strongly believe that there should be a new approach, and we're trying to promote such an approach, which focuses clearly on resource efficiency, which also focuses on recycling, on reuse and substitution strategies. Clearly, there will be a continuous need to access new virgin material, new virgin raw materials from mining, from different sources, and it is, of course, a task that raw materials consuming regions, and Europe is probably the one region in the world that imports more raw materials per capita than any other, that raw materials consuming regions should find access and not become dependent on one or just a small number of suppliers. But on the other side, it is also very important that we would not restrict our thinking to just the traditional way of accessing minerals and raw materials. The United Nations Environmental Programme, for instance, has published a calculation that roughly 225 million tons of copper have been put into landfills globally. So if such landfills could be accessed, there would be an additional supply that traditionally few have thought of. This has been called urban mines. Urban mines also exist when we put our laptops or our old cell phones into the drawers and forget about it. The basic perception of accessing such urban mines, of recycling the material from urban mines is, I think, one of the greatest promises that we have. And of course, there's a great need to develop recycling mechanisms where recycling is not yet an economically feasible proposal, And there's also a need to invest a lot into R&D to promote new options with regard to reuse and substitution. And because of that, there should be a much stronger international cooperation. And I view your symposium also as one of the leading opportunities to promote that agenda. There is a need to cooperate between, let's say, people from the US and Japan and Europe and Canada and Australia and many others. But there's also a need to cooperate with developing countries. There's a need to cooperate with threshold economies. I'm strongly convinced that we can build a win-win strategy if we follow this cooperation-oriented approach. However, we will also need new institutions. If you compare minerals and metals in the global markets with, let's say, the situation of oil, it becomes obvious that we have governance-oriented institutions for oil that we do not have, that we lack for minerals and metals. We have JODI, the Joint Oil Data Initiative. We have the International Energy Agency. We have the International Energy Forum. We have no such thing whatsoever with regard to minerals and metals. And I'm trying to promote an agenda that would start creating global governance institutions that helps to cooperate better than has been the case so far. So for instance, there should be and there could be an international, a global forum for minerals and metals. Maybe this is also something that you can take up in your considerations. I don't want to take too much of your attention, too much time from your busy schedule you're going to have. I'm again greeting you. I'm again saying thank you for awarding me this great award. And I hope to be able to join up with you in the future, hopefully. So all the best and thank you. And particular thanks again to Dr. Kongoli. All the best.